Hey guys, Zen here, and welcome back to the channel. Now, there is so much news to get to here in this one, and so let's get it started. Before we jump in, guys, today's video is made possible with Filmora 9, a video editing software that makes editing super easy. If you click the top link in the description and download Filmora 9, it's as simple as importing your clips, trimming down until you reach that perfect moment, and then spice things up with a massive catalog of beautiful effects and transitions that'll make your videos stand out. With the recent version 9.5 update, they added a bunch of new effects like a glitch distortion filter and also 4 new pan and zoom presets that'll give your content a professional feel and keyframing, as well as improved stabilization. And so down below, there's a link to download Filmora 9 for free, and you can enjoy an unlimited trial. If you need something a bit more specific, there's plenty more effects to look through over on Film Stocks, which are royalty-free and easy to use. Guys, I'm always asked where to begin making videos, and I think Filmora 9 is a great place to start producing some of your own content. And so head below if you're ready, and thanks to them for sponsoring our video. So we're going to speak about Melusi. You guys see the title, and based on her early ban rate here, it's already happening. Melusi is receiving her first major nerf, and it's going to make things far less effective. So in the Year 5 Season 2.1 patch, Melusi's Banshee gadget is being nerfed by reducing the overall radius or penalty zone by 33%, and also lowering the sound the Banshee emits in the first person point of view. Now, since the launch of Steel Wave, it's been surprising just how much this brand new operator has been banned. Like, basically since the start, she's just been the go-to pick for at least one of the teams, and I think a lot of players are just frustrated with her current state. But to be honest with you guys, I think that frustration is coming from the current meta we're working with, where it's very rush heavy on attack and the rounds are ending quickly and very early on. Now that Melusi is in the game, I think we finally have a true and hard counter to the Ashe rush meta with her Banshee gadget. And Ashe, as we're all aware, is the most popular attacker in Rainbow Six Siege and has only ever lost that spot once in Year 4. And so now that she has something that either forces her to slow down or take out a breacher to deal with it, really no matter which way you look at it, Melusi disrupts that push. And I think that's causing a lot of issue in today's meta specifically. Now, even if you're someone dealing with the 30-second meta, for those of you who don't know, the 30-second meta basically means that everything happens within the last 30 seconds of the round. Utility is launched all over the objective, the attackers push all at the same time, and the roamers are forced to sprint back to the site and hopefully deal with the mess. It can be very chaotic and has been quite controversial. But even if that is your daily gameplay, the Banshee interferes with that meta by making noise and slowing down the push. And so for me, it's apparent that the community has a new Mira out here with Melusi, and no matter what, you just have to deal with the Banshee in the round. Mira's black mirrors are an absolute must to take out, because if you don't, they're one of the best ways for the defenders to get intel, and for as long as they're up, you'll never really know what's going on behind them confidently. So when Mira is played, she's usually priority number 1. The difference with the Banshee though is that it's completely bulletproof all the way around. It doesn't have that weak spot like the Mira does, and so explosives must be saved to deal with them, and that's a gameplay loop we haven't really had to deal with since before Maestro's nerf that allowed attackers to open up his Evil Eye. Before that, the Evil Eye was just as challenging to get rid of, even more so because melee had no effect on them. Now, I think with criticism should come solution, and so I think the obvious nerf here for the Banshee would be to sort of open up a weak spot with, say, Thatcher or Twitch and make it vulnerable to being taken out from a distance. I think an issue some players are having is that if you don't have any explosives to take it out, you have no choice but to accept the punishment and get the melee. Now, personally, and try to be light with judgment, but for me guys, I think this is a gadget that's there to make more of a case for Kali, and also add a bit of separation between both Kali and Thatcher. If you haven't been put on, Kali is probably the best counter to Melusi with her LV lance, and if the new African operator is causing you headache, I recommend you take a shot with Kali. Unlike Thatcher, Kali's ability is an explosive by nature, and so if you take your time during the prep phase and spot a few Banshees, try and hold on to a few LV shots to deal with them. This way, Ashe and Zofia can still soft breach from a distance, and you don't have to waste those precious frags on the gadget. But guys, I see this as a serious nerf to Melusi because it's reducing what her gadget is all about, and for me, it's going to hit hard. Next up, I want to take a look at the brand new battle pass coming to Rainbow Six Siege called the Tour de Force. We get a small glimpse at what's to come, and so far, this stuff is already looking like an upgrade from the previous Around the World pass. So in total, there will be 45 tiers, 1200 R6 credits for the premium track, and it's set to release on the 29th. This is only the second big battle pass for Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm really looking forward to what comes out of it because previously they've been a bit underwhelming overall, and I think a lot of people want something exciting to grind it out for. Of course, everything in the pass is cosmetic only, and unless you fork over the credits, it is free. And so, yeah. Okay, next up, I wanted to discuss a couple of the missing features, or I suppose delayed features of Season 2 here, because there's been a lot of questions about what's happened. So first up, Ping 2.0, the incredible overhaul to the current ping system in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, for those of you who aren't up to date, Ping 2.0 was revealed at 6 Invitational 2020, and instead of being just a generic yellow ping, it'll give context to the point of interest. If there's a gadget like a Gersmont mine line or an ADS on the wall and you ping it, it'll show specifically what was pinged for the entire team. This is an incredibly valuable upgrade to both sides of the round, and the devs mention how effective it will be during the prep phase as you're trying to navigate your push. It's also extremely valuable to the solo queue grinders like myself, who don't always have teammates with mics, but of course still want to communicate. Now, it was supposed to come in Steel Wave, but naturally, as the world has been handicapped, it's been delayed, although it still should be here for Season 2. Another feature that's anticipated is the cancel match feature. So if you start a match and a teammate leaves or struggles with connection and it ends up being a 4v5, your team can vote to end the match before it starts and not have to deal with the unfair play. It was also supposed to launch here in Steel Wave, but was pushed back and confirmed to be coming later in the season by a developer. It is unfortunate because this kind of thing actually happens a lot and it makes it really tough to secure the win, but of course there are 4 stacks of just gods out there that can get it done, and so until it arrives, chin down, gun up. Lastly here guys, I want to talk about Ace and Melusi because they're now officially released to everyone, and even though she's always banned, I have spent some quality time with Melusi, and Ace has very quickly become my favorite attacker. Now, I've played Ace almost every single attacking round, and it's because of the insane amount of utility this operator brings. First off, the Selma gadget has fundamentally changed hard breaching for me, and even though he can definitely be used as the main breacher to open up the big wall where the attackers can push on through, I've actually been positioning him alongside Thermite and acting as that secondary hard breacher. When both Thermite and Ace are used in one round, it is basically impossible for Bandit to trick. Like, the only way it's possible is if the attacker's timing is just totally off. Otherwise, at least one side of the wall is getting opened, and so with Ace comes somewhat of an early grave to the Bandit trick. On top of this, he brings a ton of gadget clearing ability as well, and honestly, I haven't really been seeing too many Ace players use this part of him. Now, if you see a deployable shield, which has become one of the most popular secondary gadgets in the meta, but if you come across one, using a Selma on it is a fast way to get rid of it, and also clear up a goo or ADS on the other side of it because of the blast radius. Now, it can be used to take out the Banshee as well, but you've just got to remember that it'll only deploy on a destructible surface. So if it's on a hard floor or just a prop like the bed on Villa, for example, throwing a Selma at it will just waste time, and so soft surfaces and reinforced walls is always a guaranteed thing. Now, his best quality, in my opinion, is the AK-12. It just absolutely goes to work. For me, this is the best gun in Rainbow Six Siege, especially with the NATO sights. I run it with the vertical grip and flash hider, and as a result, it just melts and has one of the more consistent recoil patterns in the game. Now, because it was always previously on Fuse, you were always anchored down by a 3-armor operator, and so with a 2-speed 2-armor operator, you really feel how snappy this weapon is, and it's really yet to fail me. And so, if fragging is your style, bring Ace next round. As far as Melusi, yes, she is constantly banned, but I think it's more than just a Banshee. A 3-speed with the T5 is better than I expected initially, and again, with the increase in speed, it just makes the weapon feel refreshing and quick, and I actually really like going on a roam with her. Now, you do want to kind of hover around your Banshees because of the beautiful synergy that the C4 offers up in her kit, and yeah, you might sacrifice the Banshee after you toss one, but you'll end up trading it out for a kill, and I think it's a worthy play. If you really just want to deep roam though, and use that 3-speed to get around the map, the impacts work well, and so really with both of these ops, there's a lot of versatility that we haven't had in a while. Last season, Oryx was introduced as a hardcore roamer, and then in Shifting Tides, Wamai is best suited on site, anchoring down and waiting for the magnets. Melusi does well in both of those scenarios, and I'm hoping that the nerf doesn't push her into being an irrelevant pick, because I think it's a nice change to finally have a really viable op right after release here. So Amaru is really the only other operator to see a huge change, and surprisingly, I just haven't seen her all too much. I think those that were already using her definitely feel more confident with the buff, but it's still really nerve-wracking to just fly through a window and not know what's on the other side. I think the best approach is to use the prep phase as a way to place your drone in an entry spot and check it just before you launch in. That way, you can be sure it's clear before you commit to a jump. Overall, this new meta is interesting because, yeah, Melusi is being banned a lot, but it is opening up a new wave of both Mira and Echo because you've got to choose, right? And so when you ban Melusi, one of the 2 usual bans is still up for a pick, and so you Echo and Mira mains should hopefully be getting some well-deserved playtime. Now, as a final note for this video, guys, the highly anticipated Pro League sets for this season have released, and they're absolutely stunning. If you guys decide to purchase them, they'll cost a total of 1,728 R6 credits, and you'll unlock special goods for Bandit, Mute, Thatcher, and Sledge. Now, what's really cool about these is that at least for Bandit and Sledge, you get to look at them without headgear, and Bandit in particular has an exclusive mohawk hairstyle that just really changes things up. Also, for those of you who are new to the community, the Pro League sets are the only way to unlock the golden chibi charms, and again, you'll get one for each operator. For the actual Pro League teams, 30% of the revenue made from these skins is split amongst the Phase 3 teams, and so if you're looking for a way to support these guys as they compete, get your hands on these uniforms and you'll be a legend for just that. Personally, Personally, I'm a huge fan of the Bandit Pro League set this time around, although I think the chibi should have gone without the mask, but that is just my take. But that's going to be it for the video today, guys. Now, I was excited to learn that we've been growing over on Twitch, and so if you want to check in on some of my ranked sessions, you can jump over there and follow me for some live content, link below. But guys, drop a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't yet. With that, it's been Zen. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm out.